Hi, good morning,
Hello,
Amanda.
good
Hi.
morning.
Good to see you and welcome
Thank
to
you. Nice to
to
be
the
here.
room. Let's start. And where are you at home in Munich now? And what is your favorite part of your neighborhood?
I'm in Pasing, so West Munich, and favorite area is actually the city center. Yeah. Or
Marienplatz, you mean?
sorry?
Marienplatz, right?
No, actually Maxvorstadt,
Ah,
University area. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
It's very alive with lots of people every day at night. It's very interesting to walk around that area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you like the student life and the vibe of the
Well,
the
used to
terraces.
that.
Mm.
Hmm.
Ah, great. So are you local of Munich or what is your home?
I don't really have a home, so to speak. I have a birthplace and a nationality. Well, two nationalities now. So I was born in the UK, in England, in the north near Manchester, and left when I was 2 years old and grew up overseas. So I am British, English. I have a German passport from being here for a while, 20 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So but your mother tongue, you consider it English then?
Yes, my mother tongue is English. Although as a child, my mother tongue was full of mistakes because at the same time as acquiring my mother tongue, I was acquiring other languages, and it kind of muddled up for a bit, and it equaled out later on in my teens.
So how did you learn the additional languages at home or in school?
I went to kindergarten, a Chinese kindergarten in Singapore, and Chinese Mandarin, I think.
Mm.
And I also communicated with my neighbor who spoke a dialect of Chinese, which is Hokkien. Yeah,
Mm.
so I have those two languages. And we were in Malta as well when I was a toddler.
Mm.
So that actually was beforehand. And that was also from just the neighborhood and the kids I was playing with. They spoke
Mm.
Maltese.
Mm-hmm.
So I had Maltese and English at the same time, pretty much, and followed by Chinese. Oh, well, Cantonese it could be, or Mandarin and Hokkien. So
Okay, started out with 3 languages, so to say.
yeah, so to
Mm.
speak. But they, my English, the level of my English worried my parents. Not the level, but the way I was speaking it, upside down, backwards, and with a funny. They said funny accent, but it was just a Chinese accent.
So what initially brought you to Munich, Germany?
Munich was my husband's job, and Germany was my husband. Because it
So
was
what
in
was your first impression about the city?
Munich itself. I thought it was very pretty, very historical, and I liked the fact that we had more sunshine than where we first were in Düsseldorf. Düsseldorf seemed a lot grayer. So after 10
Mm.
years in Düsseldorf, we moved to Munich, and Munich, yeah, was greener and sunnier.
So that was your first exposure then to German culture when you met your husband and moved here?
Uh, German cultures, so to speak, I was exposed to as a teenager, but didn't realize it because I met my husband, who is German, grown up overseas, um, when I was a teenager, yes. And his home was quite German, and I didn't realize until moving here that that was German culture. A lot of the things, like go outside in the evening, and certain ways that they do things. Yeah, like
So do
precise.
you use German in your daily language or interactions?
Yeah, when shopping, chit chat, small talk. Not too many deep conversations, but I try if I have
What
to.
is the biggest advantage of being multilingual in Germany?
Multilingual or being able.
Multilingual, yes.
I don't know. I think the advantage in a way is not being afraid to just speak, however, because I know I make a lot of mistakes, and still I'm reminded by my bilingual children who are actually German, as well as English, but grown up here, and they speak flawlessly, and they remind me my grammar is a mess and my pronunciation is not good enough, and it doesn't stop me from speaking.
Okay, that's great. No, I think children are a good mirror of our mistakes, but
I can't pronounce the U, the U.
oh wow. Okay.
I can try, but it's never good enough.
So you speak English to them and they answer you in German, or how does it work in your family?
My husband speaks to them in German. I speak to them in English. My oldest replies to both of us in English. He always has. But my youngest replies to my husband in German and me in English.
Oh, wow.
And my husband and I speak English to each other. Yeah. Yes.
And what about your social circle in Munich? So do you gravitate towards the expat community or the German local culture?
Well, I have a lot of English-speaking friends, but English is not necessarily their native language. But they speak it really well. I mean, hardly any.
Thank you.
Pretty much no mistakes. Yeah.
Yeah. So how many years have you lived here altogether?
In Munich 10 and in Düsseldorf 10, so Germany 20.
Yeah. 20. So I think when did we meet? 10 years ago? Probably.
Yeah.
Wow. So you told me in the beginning that you don't have a home, or that concept for you is a really like
loose,
plural concept. How does that change with family, like having your own family?
Yeah, I mean, before growing up with my parents as just my parents and I, when we were moving around, home was where they were. And now it's where my husband and my two boys are, since my parents passed away. I never really thought about home, so to speak, as a nation. Yeah. So yeah, more just where the people are.
Your people.
Yeah, where the family is, as in not extended family, but the close family.
If I remember correctly, you have lived in Japan, right? Do you also speak Japanese?
I speak some Japanese, to comfortable, I'd say maybe B2 level, B1 level. Yeah, I can understand it. The thing is, Japanese has a lot of layers in terms of who you are, is how you speak. And when I lived there, I was in my 20s. So if I went back now as a 50-year-old, I would have to speak differently. So my language would seem really bizarre.
Oh, okay. So it's regarded as more a teenage language. So it's I
was in my 20s. I mean, the people who were teaching me or talking to me were in their 40s at the time. But I think I would have to learn a lot of new vocabulary and things. If I
related to seniority.
Yeah, to more matching to my age group.
Yeah. Yes. It's I experienced that in Hungary when I visit Budapest now and then. The living language has so many facets. Like they don't use any seniorities. So for them, it's becoming more liberal, like in any sense. Like it's but they have a lot of English words included. So that's
Yeah, the new generation is using a lot of English, it seems, but and changing the meaning at the same time. What I would say is that in Japan, it's not about seniority, it's not about politeness.
okay.
It's different. It's like if you're a it's politeness, yes, but it's
Mhm.
also hierarchy,
Uh,
and women are expected to have fuller sentences than men, for example, and also vocabulary is different. Um, you don't have to be as polite as your older.
mhm.
Yeah, that's a good point. It is politeness, but also women and men talk differently. Also different pronouns and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah.
How is it for you to live between the cultures? How does it feel like?
Um, so adapting to a culture is something I've always done. I hadn't realized I did it. The most awkward adaptation, if that can be
Mm.
said, was in the UK. As a British person, when I
Mm.
went to university, um, trying to blend in as an English person with all these cultural differences that I'd learned, I wasn't aware of which culture was which and which way of speaking was to which language at the time. Now I can change it accordingly to match what
Mm.
works in one society, one culture, and what works in another. Then as a teen, I didn't know how to, so I came across unusual, strange in my own language, as I had
Mhm.
Spanish characteristics and cultural nuances in my language in English. So
Mm.
that was not easy to understand for others, if you know what I
Mm.
mean.
Oh yes, definitely. I met Germans from Hong Kong at the university, and we really connected easily. So yeah.
Yeah, different.
So how long have you lived in the UK?
Did I? I lived in the UK from 0 to 2 years old, so that
Hmm.
was 1975 to 77,
Hmm.
and then university,
Hmm.
uh, which was 1994 to 1999. That's it.
Hmm. Oh,
Um, yeah, and 1 year of university was
mm.
also in Mexico. So
Mm. So you have English influence in your life, Spanish, South American, Maltese, Asian, oh,
yeah,
and now German.
yeah, kind of. I don't know how much I've assimilated
Yes, we
because
should.
I came here in my 30s. So
Mhm.
yeah.
So, what is your hidden gem favorite spot in Munich?
Let me see. There is a place where the Hofbräu house is.
Hmm. Yeah.
There's a Starbucks opposite, and when you go along the side of the Starbucks, there's a little well, Brunne.
Hmm.
And you go inside, like the floor looks like a chessboard, and there's this little well, and it's always fun taking people to that little spot that no one expects.
Oh, we should go there next time and take a picture.
Yeah, you haven't found that yet. Yeah,
No, I
and
have an
you have.
indoor area
You know
there, but
what?
fun.
Okay.
Sorry.
Um, I forgot. It's got a name. It's some kind of Brunnen
Hmm.
Passage or something. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
I know the area, but I don't know the specific Brunnen. So yeah,
hmm Yeah,
I
I
love
like.
the Quotidiano behind the
Ah,
Oberpollinger. There is
yeah.
also a nice well or statue, which I
Ah,
just discovered lately.
okay, I have to have a look. I probably saw it, but um,
Mm.
oh, also on an adventure and have a look for new stuff.
Yeah, it's a bigger actually, like square, but somehow hidden. But since I always go there shopping, I don't really look for gems there
Right.
specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also looking for the monk, the Münchener Kindle,
Mhm.
the symbol of the city, the emblem of the city. In the center, it's everywhere, and every time I go to the center, I see if I can find a new one.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
I don't have that in my repertoire. I like the libraries.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, but I haven't visited the library of the law department, which
Okay.
should be the best, like the most beautiful in Munich.
Okay. I haven't focused. I'm focused more on the museums, but I still have a few to see. Hmm. Egyptian Museum is my favorite.
Oh, cool.
Mm.
So do you get more sucked into the German culture while having children?
No, not at all.
Oh, because they are also attending English
No,
schools, English
no.
speaking schools? No.
Mm-mm. It's hard to be sucked into a culture. Kind of shuts you out, I find. I mean, I find it's. I think if you don't integrate from little, it's hard to
Mhm.
integrate later.
Yes, it's challenging, but your family, like, is Ray's family also multicultural? So,
Well,
or
they're completely German,
Mhm.
except for him and his siblings. They've all married non-Germans.
Mhm.
Um, but his parents are German. I used to be quite frightened of his parents, but now I understand them, and they're really lovely. Yeah. Um, it's also because I was a teenager.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and I don't know. It's hard in the school community to befriend the other parents and stuff like that. It's not that easy.
Mm.
I do have a few German friends. For example, when I gave birth to Isaac, the lady in the room with me,
Mm.
who also had a son, she became my friend. She was very sweet. She could understand English, and
Mm.
she was the person I practiced my first attempts at German with.
Mhm.
And she was nice. Yeah.
And what other community do you have, like, which you interact with, even the expats? Like, I guess you have a bigger circle.
Yes, church community.
Mhm.
A few friends in the church community, and I have friends that I still meet overseas, like in Spain,
Mm.
friends from school. Yeah, and yeah, basically that's it. And our neighbors. I found this kind of pattern with
Mm.
having two 10-year blocks, that 10 years is kind of like a sweet spot for integrating into the neighborhood. It's like 10 years too. But no, I mean, this neighborhood was about 5 years. Yeah, the neighbors, I go swimming with one neighbor, and I teach the other neighbor's little boy English. And yeah, they were
Okay,
all
so you
friendly.
share life and like barbecues, summer barbecues, or what else would be like
Mm.
an activity together?
The neighbors,
Yes, with the neighbors.
just generally chatting, um, exchanging cakes. Now and again, they'll bring baked goods and coffee and cake kind of
Yes.
sharing. Not actually hanging out in each other's houses so much. We
Mm.
haven't gotten around to having a barbecue together yet. Yeah, but yeah, that kind of thing. And I do swim once a month or so with another neighbor.
Yes, I think that's a thing in Germany, like sharing food a little bit, but like not hanging out at each other houses. Like I found that really common. Like even my neighborhood is quite young and open to like street parties, and we do fun things together, but like going into each other's houses, it's that's a different level. It's
But our neighbor's son, who is 5, comes here for a lesson, and then he stays and plays for a couple of hours with my youngest, who's 13. I mean, they've always, since he was born, we've known him, so he's quite
oh,
happy.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So your children have a different identity. Is it hard for them to kind of understand your background?
No, I mean, they've always known it. They know that Ray, my husband, and I are third culture kids. The funny thing is that a lot of people think they are too. They're not. They're born and bred here, but they have a lot from me, from my upbringing, the British side, the humor, yeah, which was a learning curve for them also, how to use that cultural kind of input, which is only from my parents, as I didn't have it from the country itself, from living there. I have it from my parents and from TV. Yeah. Them navigating using that culture somehow in this environment doesn't really work. And so it's kind of like they had to learn to only do it at home, but it's been interesting. It's caused quite a conflict.
Yeah, I call it code switching.
Yeah.
In this concept, I think it's really interesting because you learn it as a child, and then but to implement it, like you have to be in a certain culture, in a certain environment to practice it, or with the right people.
Because it isn't just language, because you can't really learn language without culture. It doesn't really make sense, because it's also a reflection of it, I think.
Yes, right. And this blended identity, which is kind of malated through the process, it gives you like a lot of baggage in the sense. So do you feel it more as a like being a gem or something really special, or is it a burden for you?
It leads to a lot of self-analysis at this point, at 50. Before it was a learning curve, an adventure, finding out, am I too much? Is it too much? I didn't realize sometimes that a lot of what I'm saying when I'm talking to people comes from a background they don't have. And it can be overwhelming, and understanding that maybe it's too much for someone who's only lived, not that only living in one place also has its, great things. Nothing, I don't mean to say that it's less. I'm just saying that it can be much. If I'm saying my point of view, or if I say, oh, when I was here, when I was there, it's like, can be exhausting for someone who doesn't do that kind of thing. Learning not to bring that into conversation sometimes.
Or the messages are so multifaceted, what I find it hard to translate my knowledge into a different, I don't know, wording, or make it simpler somehow, because I also I consider like so many different aspects. But I think that this form of translation is it's really like, it's probably our strength in a way. Like if we if we are able to find a way to to kind of make it possible, because people, as you say, they would find it like just like the list of your experiences, they could never understand. But maybe the message of what you say, it can be also useful for them, but not in as a story, so to say, but just as a short sentence.
Yeah, like if someone comes to me expecting an English person, it's a little bit much when they encounter what they encounter, which is not what they expect. Yeah. Like in England, when I was there on holiday once, because my accent isn't clear. In the UK, you know where you're from based on your accent. By village, as in 2 kilometers from each other, everyone knows per how you speak exactly where you're from. So I was at a store and they're like, do you want a point card kind of thing? And I'm like, no, I don't live here. I live in Germany. I'm from, and they're like, oh, wow, your English is really good. And I'm like, oh. Yeah.
Yes,
I had American tourists here say the same thing as well.
Yes, we should have our own community.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give someone who is traveling the world and living in multiple countries? How should they navigate this lifestyle?
When it depends on when they start doing it. I've heard that I have a friend who works at a university, and I remember that when I went overseas for my year overseas, I thought it was standard, to go through difficulties. It's like you write it down, whatever. It's part of life, having difficulties. But it seems like now when teens at uni go overseas for a lot, give up.
Oh, really?
They need counselors to travel with them, people who help them actually have to go and stay with them to guide them through a lot of things. A lot more of a support system there, which I think is good. But I don't know why it seems generally so hard to do. Like the concept that it's just, yeah, whatever, go there. I think maybe because globally you have access to information globally, and it seems to have like when you have your telephone and you're looking at the world, there's an algorithm that fits you that you're looking at, right? But when you go overseas, actually, the algorithm, there is none. It doesn't fit you. And so we didn't see these things. We just expected the unexpected, expected things to be hard, or didn't think anything of it. But yeah, so one thing is to expect it to be hard, that it's not an easy ride, that it takes a lot of time and effort, and yeah. And I also learned over the years that there is a curve of emotions that take 3 years to when you're going to live in a country. I find it amazing how anyone can just go for 2 years and then go for the next 2 years and then go for the next 2 years from place to place. And that is kind of torture in a way, because you need 3 years to feel like, okay, I'm here now.
No.
Yeah,
I agree.
And at least 4 years to feel the flow of the culture and the language. And it's okay for things to be difficult. Like you have your honeymoon phase for 3 weeks, then you have like a down, and then you pick up, and then you have another at 7 months, another at 6 months. There's like a pattern I noticed over the years. And I think a lot of people don't have the realization that it's okay to go through that. It'll be easier. But then again, sometimes you just know when a place is not where you should be, and that's also okay.
It's interesting, like talking about going back to the hard part. What was your impression of being the most difficult in a new culture to get adjusted to?
Well, as a child, it was easy. It was not
Mm.
never hard. It was just life, no big deal. In Japan, it was a lot of the unexplained differences.
Mm.
Japan was very alien to me.
Mm.
So first year was very hard. It was like a love-hate relationship. Things I loved, things I hated.
Mm.
A lot of things go unsaid, unspoken, unexplained, and you have to learn them the hard way.
Mm.
Like, for example, the Japanese don't like darkness. You have to have like thousands of neon lights on blasting at night. Having a little candles on is scary and weird. And so I had to learn that I couldn't have, in the school I was working in at night, this low-key, candly atmosphere. It was like, nope, you have to have like light as soon as you wake up, blinds up. As soon as you're like doing something, everything has to be on. So you don't know that without, and they just get annoyed at you for not doing it and not. Sometimes there's no understanding for you in the other culture because they expect you to know. Like even here, a lot of maybe people who've never traveled, Germans who've never traveled, don't understand why foreigners don't know nuances. And it's okay. It takes time, and the mistakes, with time, you'll forget you've made mistakes in a new culture. And then you'll understand them. It's okay. Like here, you don't know you're on the wrong bike lane.
Bike lane, right?
You know, someone will tell you if you're doing something wrong here.
Yeah, it's true.
And they just get annoyed and never tell you. But that was different. That was in the early 2000s. I don't know now. You have everything. All the information is more readily available.
Yeah, that's true. Like in Budapest, I found it, for instance, last weekend. The speed of the escalators frightening.
Yes, I had that when visiting Georgia. Yeah, very,
And
very
it's
fast.
like, oh, that freaks me out. I couldn't live here with this speed. Like even just me by myself, but with children or your family. Oh, that's so it was freaking me out. Like, oh wow, like you don't need any of the rules like in Germany. Like you can just stay on your spot and survive this ride.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And people wouldn't understand your points. Like, what is wrong with you? Why would you even blame them? Like setting this up this way. So yes, it's so different. Or and one thing I also realized, just people are so different. Like how they are dressed. Like
Mm-hmm.
it has more like a Berlin vibe, but people don't stare at each other. So you don't have the German stares like, no, whatever, do your thing. It's like,
I know that I caught myself doing the German, looking for longer at people.
mm,
I found that I adopted that a bit because when I was in Georgia, this is Europe, Georgia.
mm.
I was looking at people for long periods of time, and I was thinking, wait a minute, this is a German thing.
If people would stare back, it's like, what's
They won't.
wrong with you? They won't.
I just realized, oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing this at some point because
Okay.
nobody was doing it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas here, yeah, you do. I was like, okay, this is something that is very much here.
But
Something.
I don't know. Do you think that's only Munich, or is it like I can't remember if I had that in other cities.
I think I don't know. It could be Munich. Trying to think of being in Dusseldorf recently.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely very much done here for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Because
necessarily that they're thinking anything. It's just
I don't know. Like I never asked someone. Like maybe I should ask. Like, oh, do you have a problem with me? But
think so. Because I know that when I'm looking at people, I'm not really thinking anything.
no. But I had this with a man, like German-looking man, last night,
Oh,
and I was like freaking out. Like, okay. Then I stared back at him, and he wouldn't stop doing it. So
yeah. If you do that in the UK, it means you're interested. You don't make
yes, that's what I know. Like that's flirting.
yes.
Yes. So it's like, okay, these codes
Break
are
eye
different.
contact. You break eye contact if you know.
Yes, yes. Like when a man does it to you, it's definitely like more like a flirtatious way of like approaching someone.
Yes.
So
Yeah. I don't know.
okay, I should decode this this one before I get into it deeper. It's like,
I think it depends on your surrounding. I think if you're in the U-Bahn, I wouldn't read it, but if you're in a bar, it might be a different thing. Although I don't go
oh,
to
that's
bars.
right. Mm.
Yeah.
No, that would be too scary. Like, no, I know. Yeah, sure. Like American movies, bars. Yeah, that's the setting where you have to go and practice that. Hmm. No, it wasn't a U-Bahn, so I should be probably I should overinterpret it.
I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah. I was gonna say something, but I forgot. Anyway, might come.
About Germany?
It's okay. There's a lot to say. It's hard to put.
Yeah. No, just please continue then. Then I give you space and to recall your feelings.
No, I mean, what I had with coming to Germany was that I was coming from Japan after living there for 6 years, and there's
Mm.
something I don't know if you know about it called reverse culture shock when you are away for so long. I mean, coming back to Europe is not like going
Mm.
back to the UK or going back to
Mm.
Spain, but it was like definitely the first year in Germany was a
Mm.
lot of reverse culture shock.
Yes, I agree.
I found it hard, like for example, making eye contact. And
Mm.
Japanese are overly polite.
Mm.
In terms of a lot of language is not used, so there's a lot of silence in Japan to communicate stuff, and that wasn't working. Wasn't working here. So I made a lot of made a lot of mistakes when first moving to Germany from Japan.
So you would interpret between the lines? So do you have the freedom or do you know how to
What in
already
Japan?
how to in Japan, yes.
Yes, yes, there's a lot between the lines. It's very like in England, there's between the lines in wording. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
you use words and a lot is implied in how you speak.
Mm-hmm.
Um in
Intonation as well?
no, what you say.
Just the wording. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and intonation. Yeah. There's a lot of nuance in English. You can
Mm-hmm.
say something very harsh and seem polite. Um, but in Japan, there's a lot of communication done in absolute silence, just with very small body movements, and eye contact, and in
Mm-hmm.
lack of eye contact, or you have to be very careful what you say in Japan. Yeah, because it so a lot is done without words.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a Japanese word which is called ishin denshin, which is basically telepathy. So read, just reading people without
Mm-hmm.
any words. So there's a word for it, which is,
Mm-hmm.
and so like my body language in a store, for example, when I arrived in Germany, should have been enough to say I don't want help, right? But it wasn't.
Yes, I can understand that. I think Hungarian is more similar to Japanese in
Okay.
that sense. Like we have more silence
Mm.
implemented in our communication. And also for me in Germany to speak out certain words or thoughts brought me on the brink of my emotional existence. It feels, it definitely, it's hard. Or like in Germany, it's not even about emotions, because Germans don't speak so much about emotions. That's like, we speak more about emotions, but we don't speak about other things. Like taboos are different. I think that's that's what I've heard also about Japan, that like sex is also like certain concepts are not even mentioned. Or yes, and in Germany, it's also a learning curve how to speak about emotions, what to communicate, how to communicate it, what is the reverse logic. Yeah, so yes, I totally agree.
Yeah, like for example, sometimes walking the dog, I have we've had a dog for only 2 years. Walking him in the neighborhood, sometimes I'm trying to schedule it when there's nobody there, because it's not like I like the dog to play and stuff, but sometimes there are people that are very negative. And
In Germany, you mean?
in terms of like the dog's behavior or whatever. And there are times that I feel like I can deal with comments or criticism, and other times not. Like there's a lot of you have to be able to wash things away. Like they need to just wash off you, but they don't. They really impact me, what people say. So yeah, it's definitely easier when you're not emotionally vulnerable to deal with criticism, which happens. I'd say maybe if you were out all day in Munich, you would get a criticism or two a day. I've found if you're doing something like with a dog or on a bike or in a car, but if you're just walking around shopping, it's generally quite okay.
Yeah, I learned to brush it off. Like picking wildflowers on a field, I still don't understand why is that forbidden. It's like, no, I don't think that's a really nice thing. I think it's even romantic.
But the bees, the field is there for the bees.
Oh yes.
No. And in England, I think it's also illegal to pick roadside flowers, but those are actually planted. They're not wildflowers.
No, yes, I mean like the real wildflowers,
Yeah.
like meadows. Like
I agree with you. Yeah, it's nice for kids to pick them too.
yeah. So, but
You get
yes, I
that.
see that with the dogs. Like and bicycles, and like or in my neighborhood, I get also like some comments, but I think after 20 years of experience being here, it's like whatever.
But the dog thing is new to me. It's only 2 years. It's like,
Oh, it's new. Like I thought you always had a
no,
dog.
only the past 2 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And the cat, because he
Doesn't
make a
get
much trouble.
well, he does within, not for the German community, no.
Not with. Oh, that's great. Oh wow. I think it's about character, I guess, as well.
I mean, I'd say I love traveling. I like seeing new places, learning new things, new language. Like recently, went on a trip, as I was mentioning, to Georgia with my old school friend, and we're both similar in that we like adventure and discovering and just seeing day to day what's out there. I mean, we obviously planned and things, but all the new things were just very exciting, whereas it could be overwhelming for others. The priority was as absorbing as much of the new place as possible, but not just sites or must-see locations, but also what are people eating, what are they saying, talking to someone local,
Yes.
if possible, and getting views on how they feel. They, so not just the sites, but also the culture, the food, the language is all part of the experience, and that is fun.
Yeah, that's also my favorite part of being abroad or traveling generally. Even the holidays I plan over that, like around that experience, like the offsites, like the hidden gems in a city.
Mm-hmm.
These are the most precious. Yes. So, what is your next project? Or language project?
I'm learning Finnish. As yeah, I'm very interested in it. It's just a fun language. Everyone told me it was horribly difficult. I'm sure it is, but it is fun. Next trip planned is to Finland, the end of November, to be with a friend who's organizing an event. She's Finnish. I'll stay with her family and try and listen and learn as much as possible, but also help with preparing for an art event. Yeah, what she's doing with her mom, and celebrate her birthday as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful. How did you like Israel? I think you've been there this year, right?
Yes, I went in April. I also went last year in May.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I really enjoyed it being there. On one level,
Mhm.
it was, yeah. There's a lot of controversy and stuff going on, but when you arrive there, it's very special. It's a special place. Everyone's really friendly, really welcoming. There's a huge mix of cultures, a huge mix of languages. Everyone there was peaceful around us. As in, I went with a friend,
Hmm.
uh, and also stayed with local families. Had Shabbat with them on Friday, which is basically lunch and dinner.
Mhm.
Nobody uses any form of communication on Shabbat in terms of no phones, no TVs. They just focus on family, which was really nice. And being in Jerusalem, just general, it's like a place like no other, I'd say. It has a lot of heart and soul. It's, I recommend it to everyone to go there. That's why I went.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, I share that experience
Yeah.
with you about Jerusalem. Yes, it's definitely it's my favorite is though Tel Aviv, but
Yeah.
Jerusalem has a special yeah, vibe is not the right word for expressing it, but
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yeah,
something.
you feel like a very deep level of peace and joy
Yeah.
that is hard to explain unless you go there, I think.
Yes, even like being surrounded with I don't know Kalashnikovs from right and left, but it was still
Yeah.
like so joyful and people are dancing or everyone is free to express their own way.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, that was I totally agree
Mm-hmm.
on that
Mm-hmm.
that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have arrived to the end of our conversation.
Time yet. A lot more could be shared, but it was,
Yes, we could if
no,
you
I'm saying another time. Or
yeah, we could do the second part like at some point if you have any ideas or maybe in a year of time to share
mm-hmm.
your experience about your travels and
Mm-hmm.
the projects you're doing.
Yeah.
It was amazing having you here and wish you
Thank
a
you.
great day.
Same. Bye.
Bye. Thank you very much.
Okay.